In the year 9 AD, Rome commanded the world, but it could not command loyalty. On the edge of its power lay Germania, wild, untamed, and dangerous. From this land came Arminius, a prince taken as a hostage and forged into a Roman soldier. He rose through the ranks, earning Rome's highest trust and highest praise. But to his own people, Arminius was not a Roman hero. He was their weapon. Governor Publius Quinctilius Varus was tasked with taming the frontier, and he would trust Arminius to lead the way. 3 legions, 17,000 men, all marching into the green shadows. At the front, their trusted guide, the man who knew these forests better than anyone alive. But behind his calm, a storm of betrayal was taking shape. Rome had stolen him as a boy, and now he would steal from Rome. In the night he swore an oath, not to Caesar, but to the tribes of the north. And so Rome marched, unaware it was walking into the jaws of its worst nightmare. Nature itself seemed to turn against the legions, but the real danger walked among them. He asked leave to summon allies. In truth, he was summoning death. With every hoofbeat, the trap drew tighter. Varus saw a loyal scout. He did not see the dagger at his back. The tribes had waited for this moment, united under one leader. When the signal came, Rome would bleed in the dirt. The legions were now stretched thin and blind. Death watched from above, waiting for the moment to strike. Warnings were given and ignored. The storm hid the enemy and drowned the sound of their approach. In that moment, the fate of 3 legions was sealed, and the forest exploded with Rome's worst nightmare. They tried to form the shield wall, but the forest offered no room to breathe. From the shadows, the tribes struck with fury born of centuries. Even Rome's commands were lost in the roar of the ambush. The earth itself fought against them, their lifeline to survival, gone in the first minutes. The leaders fell first, leaving the ranks blind. Without formation, the legions were no more than prey. The man Rome had trained now wielded that skill against it. His only hope was to move deeper into the jaws of the trap. The storm revealed their fear and their fate. The forest itself became a weapon. When the eagle fell, so did their hope. They formed one last wall against the tide. The trap closed from every side. Nowhere to run, nowhere to stand. The empire's might undone before his eyes. Mercy had no place in the forest that day. The earth drank deep from Rome's veins. Survivors would face a slower death. For him, this was justice, long delayed. The storm lit the truth. Rome was dying here. But even a lion cannot fight when trapped in the hunter's snare. The forest roared with the call of the tribes, and Rome braced for the final blow. The final wall broke beneath the weight of the storm. Steel was no match for the earth that swallowed them. When the eagle lay in the mud, the empire's pride lay with it. Every strike was placed with a soldier's skill, learned from Rome itself. The forest closed its gates, and Rome was locked inside. Flight only led to a quicker death. Even the bravest could not crawl away from this fate. Brotherhood turned to battlefield, and only one would leave it. Friendship died faster than the man who carried it. Cohesion shattered, the legions became prey. The forest echoed with the hunt. With his men gone, only the inevitable remained. Nature washed the battlefield clean, but not Rome's shame. The circle closed tighter, squeezing the last breath from the legions. Steel rang out, then fell silent. The end had come, and it wore the sound of victory. With one last charge, the forest swallowed Rome whole. In minutes, 17,000 lives were gone. The governor of Germania looked to the heavens and saw only rain. Better to die by his own hand than face the enemies. The forest roared with a victory song Rome would never forget. For him, this was not a celebration, but the end of a long oath. The eagle had fallen, and with it, the illusion of Rome's invincibility. When the storm cleared, only the dead remained to tell the tale. Rome's finest arms now lay in the hands of those they called barbarians. For the few who lived, mercy came with iron shackles. Here they burned the symbols of Roman pride. The eagle's death was a message. The empire bled. On this night, Germania was free, and Arminius its champion. In Rome, the news struck like a thunderbolt. The loss of 3 legions was an unthinkable wound. Some spoke of vengeance, others of retreat. His cry would echo through history, a lament for an army lost forever. For the tribes, this was not just a victory, it was liberation. But even victors carry ghosts. For her, the war was personal, her people's survival. Rome's pride demanded blood in return. They came with steel, fire, and the weight of an empire. The forest's eyes were always open. The hunter would face the bear once more. Some lessons Rome never learned, and once more the forest closed in. History began to repeat itself, but this fight would not end as before. Even the nightmare of Rome knew when to vanish. Pieces of honor reclaimed, but never the full price. The ghost of Teutoburg would haunt Rome for decades. From then on, the empire feared the trees of Germania. His name passed from fire to fire, the hero who broke Rome. The greatest danger often comes from within. Jealousy sharpened its blade. The man who defied Rome could not defy fate. His last battle was not against Rome, but his own blood. Even in death, he had won. A border carved in fear and in blood. His shadow stretched far beyond the forest, and in stone, his defiance still stands, time closed over the wounds of Teutoburg. Legends never die. They wait in the shadows, and somewhere in the whispers of the trees, Rome still hears his name. The news traveled faster than the legions had fallen, and struck the heart of Rome. When Augustus heard the words, he is said to have cried out for his lost legions. In the forests of Germania, Arminius stood not as a rebel, but as a conqueror. For his people it was a night of freedom songs, carved in the ashes of Rome's pride. For Rome, it was a wound so deep it would never fully heal. Victory had been won, but peace would never follow. Rome's revenge would come, not from legions but from blood. Love and loyalty had long since drowned in the same mud as the legions. In the end, betrayal was a language Arminius spoke fluently to Rome and to his own. The man who broke an empire vanished into the shadows of history. The forest kept its secrets and its trophies. For Rome, the wound would never close. For Arminius, the legend would never die.